Welcome, everyone. As we embark on the celebration of One World, One Health International Yoga Day, we recognize that if we change one breath, we can change a lot of things. And this is one of the bases for the pranayama practice that we will be doing, the various aspects of and breath practices we will be doing. Now, I just want to go through some of the aspects of what is pranayama. Pranayama. The prana is breath plus vitality or chaitanya. Why? Prana is not only breath, because breath is usually spontaneous but can be maintained by the ventilator, as we know that. Now, the person on the ventilator can be still awake, can be aware, and all the life functions can be there. So breath is maintained artificially, and yet the person is awake and alert. Therefore, prana is more than just breath. And we call it prani. Prani means a person who is alive. The five tattvas, the five koshas, are maintained by breath. So although we saw the various aspects of covering, like prana tattva, and we talked about the air part of it, and pancha tattva, five kosha was pranamaya kosha. That breath infusion, the oxygen that we talked about, that infusion is the most important part to maintain everything, all the koshas as well, all 10 aspects of the philosophy that we talk about. The whole philosophy of Ashtanga Yoga will not exist, cannot be performed, cannot really work without infusion of prana or infusion of breath and vitality. So this is a very important concept. The pranayama is control of life. It's not just breath. So breathing is simple. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. There's always a small pause at the end of exhalation. Let's remove the pause. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. What's happening? You notice that we start getting a little short of breath. There's always a small pause at the end of exhalation. This is natural, and that is determined by the brain here. And there's a sigh center in the brain which introduces the pause. Now, as you can see in this diagram, inhalation increases the sympathetic system activity, the heart rate increases, awareness increases, and energizes the whole body. Exhalation is the parasympathetic, the heart rate goes down, relaxation and calmness. So basically, breathing is simple. All we're going to do is adjust this how much you want to inhale, how much you want to exhale, change the volume, change how fast you're going to do. And hold the breath, maybe up after the inhalation or after exhalation. That's it. That's all that is there to talk about the control of breath. However, very important to think about why are we doing this. So create an intention for breath is very crucial. Do we want to power up, increase our power, energize ourselves? Then in that case, the inhalation process needs to be enhanced and properly managed. If you want to slow down, if you want to relax, if you want to sleep, whatever, then you have to do the exhalation part. Want to be more awake or aware? Want to relax, rest or sleep? Want to distress? Want to focus, increase the attention? Then you have to different types of breath handling needs to be done. Want to increase your energy? How about resilience? How about immunity? All these things are important to establish as the. So let's do this. Let's all wake up. And when we wake up, let's massage the head first, head and face first, neck and massage. Let's massage it. Now, the reason why we massage this is as I wake up, there's a lot of fluid that has built up inside the head because there's a washing phase in the brain the third phase of the sleep, where brain has mobilized all the emotions, thoughts, and everything, and it's all waste products have been collected during the night. And that has to be removed. So it can be removed naturally, but if we do the massage, the head, and bring it into the face and into the neck area, the lymphatics. Now it's been proven that from inside the head to the outside, there are connections, the lymphatics that drain very well into all these areas. And that you would probably start feeling fresh. It's just you doing this much. You see, wake up and feel the freshness. Now, what has got that to do with breath work? Breathing is also important. All the breath centers are located in the brain, and they also need complete clearance. So once you do that, the next one we'll do is check your nostrils. There are two nostrils. And we want to make sure that both of them are open. See, any breath work we do, if we do not open up the nostrils equally, we have a problem, because it is less amount of air, again, less oxygen, and less amount of benefits from that. So let's check this. Inhale. Exhale. Just checking first. Inhale. Other nostril. Exhale. Chances are that they're not equal, because that's the nasal cycle, 2.5 to 3 hours. It does not allow the secretions in the nose to build, because it's switching from one side to the other. Now, all we do is inhale, exhale, pinch our nose, and hold it. You may move your head around a little bit, keep holding, and as you keep holding it, there is nitric oxide that builds up inside the nasal cavity, and as you open it up, check again, see what happens. This is an important discovery on my part. If you like what happens, smile. Smile at me. That's the next thing I do. I smile. If I frown, I will reduce the air going in and out of the nostril. If I smile, there are a couple muscles here called Elvis Presley muscles. They open up the nares, open up the nostrils. And if you do manually also, you can just open up and see. Feel good. So when you do this, we're now ready for doing any pranayama activity that we want to do. The first pranayama that we do when we wake up is an anulom vilom, and that creates the balance within the brain. So let's close one nostril and inhale. You see the diagram there? It goes up from the one nostril, crosses over to the other side, and then vilom is the opposite exhalation. Anulom is inside, going inside. Vilom is exhaling. Let's do that. Now go through the opposite nostril, the right nostril, and in my case. And slowly come out the other. You may hold the breath if you want to retain it, but simple breath is fine. And this balances the two sides of the brain, because as we know, the oxygen goes up and crosses over and supplies the opposite brain. And therefore, in yoga, we talk about Surya Nadi and Chandra Nadi. Surya Nadi is the right nostril, which goes to the left side of the brain, improving the left side function. All the brain activity, awareness, intelligence, problem solving. And then if you do Chandra Nadi to the left nostril, it improves the imagination, creativity, and also relaxes to create sleep. So you use one for awareness more, the other one to relax ourselves during evening or night time when you want to relax. From this discussion, it seems to me that yogic people may have been right-handed, because now we see the left brain dominance there. It's just a fun part observation that I'm thinking about. I'm not sure that is true, but why would they call it Surya Nadi otherwise than Chandra Nadi? Just a thought that occurred to me. So anyway, so let's do this. And now, so once we do Anulom Vilom, this can be done anytime during the day, and anytime we have need for balancing ourselves. And that's learned the Brahmari Mudra. Brahmari is the humming. Put the little finger underneath the lower lip, the ring finger just above the upper lip that closes the mouth, and use the middle finger to the two nostrils. That can control, and you can use this mudra also for Anulom Vilom or just single breath, one nostril breath. The index finger covers the eyes, and the thumbs cover the ear. Yeah. And now to inhale and start humming. Inhale and hum. If you close one ear, you will notice that the humming is more pronounced on that side. Now you can clench your teeth in order to increase the humming and the effect of this vibration. This creates a lot of nitric oxide. We'll see some importance of the nitric oxide in a minute. But you can also do the humming through one nostril, inhale through one nostril, and do the tapping and massage, just the head massage that we did with the tapping of sinuses. Inhale and exhale. And hum. Inhale. Notice how much opening is happening, how much air is coming in. Very likely a lot. Improvement. Inhale. The other side. Opens up all the sinuses. People with the deviated nasal septums or other situations, the nostrils also need an open nasal passages. As we know that the nose breathing is much better than the mouth breathing, because it moisturizes the air, heats up the air, and also cleans up the air. So many things that happen because of that. So now, this is Brahmari pranayama, control of breath, or humming. The concept of humming is very crucial. We need to hum as much as we can during the day. Now, let's do 2 or 3 Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is expression of negatives. So if you're standing, you can stand and do this, or you can sit in the chair and inhale first, and then forcefully exhale, like as if you are coughing, but actually you're sneezing outside up from the nose. Keep your mouth closed and get the belly, strong belly back. Then go back and expel the air. Inhale, let the inhalation be passive. Just 2 or 3 times as you wake up. This removes the negatives from the during the night. Some things, secretions have been collected. Even coughing at this point is also helpful. And the Kapalabhati can be done standing up in a couple of other ways, but just waking up this is enough. Let's try the pursed lip breath. Pursed lip breath is also improved, increase the oxygenation in the entire body and every cell. So let's inhale through the nose and make a pursed lip as if you are blowing a candle or cooling tea or some drink. Maybe put your hand here in front of the mouth so that you can feel the air like a pinpoint coming out very strong. This firstly breath is very important because it retains the breath within our system longer, and it has more oxygenation, more chance of supplying to various organ systems. Next, we will do the nose to belly breath. Keep your mouth closed, inhale, and let the belly come out. It's almost like sniffing. And relax and exhale. This gives a very quick air entry from the nose to belly. This breath is used also in other techniques called circular breath. We will not talk about that today. Now comes the deep breath, belly breath. So when you inhale, the belly comes out. First, begin by exhalation. Press the belly inside, hard. Let the belly go back to the spine. And now inhale, push the belly out so that the hands are pushed out. This is just to try, check it out. This is how it feels like. And now, full breath. The full breath is three parts or 4 parts breath, where first the belly comes out, and then expand the chest, lower chest. The hands will separate. Then the middle chest. Raise your arms up. Inhale, inhale, look up. Throw the arms out and smile.
This particular practice opens up the chest wall.
All the various ribs that are there, it opens up completely and gives you good amount of expansion in the upper part and also the base of the lungs. Base of the lungs up to here, they call it tidal volume, and this is inspiratory capacity. We will talk about volumes when we look at the chart of the lungs. The upper part is the one that is remaining relatively not aerated, particularly when you are sitting or standing. The circulation is 2/3 down here. And so when we do the full breath, it opens up the upper part as well. So let's do one more time, full breath. Belly out. Chest on the side. Second step, inhale, inhale. Look up. Smile. This shows up, the collarbones open up and also the shoulder blades open up. And exhale. Deep and full breath. Let's do something called core breath. This is an important part because core is composed of the box here, the belly, front of the belly, and the back here, and the box-like thing. Within the box there are intestines, as you know, in the belly, and also some fluid in there. So when you inhale, the diaphragm comes down and it compresses the intestinal area. But then we want to tighten the box because when we increase the pressure in the belly, it has multiple advantages. It increases all the chakra, the 3 chakras down there, the activation of the chakra, or actually enhancement of all the chakra function happens. Plus, it supports the diaphragm, it supports the spine, and it increases body temperature. This is also used by people who are in colder climates. So use the core breath. This also strengthens the spine, and our posture and walking and everything improves with core breath. Core breath also increases our ability for lifting stuff up, heavy stuff. So core breaths are very crucial to recognize. So inhale, diaphragm goes down, tighten the front, tighten the back, and relax. Exhale. You can perform core breath as much as possible during the daytime, and particularly walking, you can use that also, use the core breath. So this is just the introduction of some of the breaths. Now I just want to understand how the three gases work. Oxygen, as we know, supplies to all the cells are requiring that for the respiration and metabolism. And after the metabolism, carbon dioxide is created, which is going back and carried by the hemoglobin and the red cells back to the lung. But there's another gas that is also carried, which is nitric oxide. It's almost like an oxygen delivery system is similar to Amazon. The Amazon van is the blood. The driver is the red cells. And the delivery package is the oxygen that's going to be delivered to the various cells. The return package is carbon dioxide. And when the driver arrives to the door, there's snow or the blockage is there on the pathway or something. Who clears it? He has to clear it, and that's why we need the nitric oxide. Nitric oxide opens up the various small circulation pathways, and it really creates the bigger, good amount of circulation going into the cell. And so these three work together very well. In fact, let me see, I think I have a slide on this. Nitric oxide has been considered as a wonder gas. And I'm not going to go into details about this, but it was the whole in the 70s and 80s that we started learning about it. That nitric oxide is created by the sinuses as well as in the lungs, but also lining up all the blood vessels. So that you can see that it does multiple things. It does opens the blood vessel, and tissue engineering around healing, platelet aggregation, and that also the clotting mechanism. And then also it goes all the way to antiviral, antibacterial, anti-cancer therapy is now being looked at. And most important part is the cardiovascular. The cardiovascular system, the blood pressure goes down and opens up the channels. So nitric oxide has been very well studied. This is just the same classification of pranayama that we just went through. And we're not going to cover this because the important point here is to recognize that you inhale and you retain. It's called kumbhakam. And recha is exhalation. And external retention, internal retention. There are different additional techniques. Don't worry about that with conscious effort. And we covered some of these. And I'll do one more this year. Ujjayi pranayama. Ujjayi is basically ocean breath. And ocean breath is simple in a way. So you inhale through the nose and hold your hand up here and open your mouth and like fogging the mirror. Inhale. That noise comes out. That's the first step one about ocean breath. Step two. Keep the mouth closed and try to fog the mirror, but the noise will be created at the back of the throat. So let's inhale. Inhale. You can hear that. So that's it. Now, in the ocean, there are waves coming in and out. So when you inhale and create the same noise, inhaling and exhaling, that sounds like an ocean. Now, in order to do that, you have to really squeeze the air through the nostrils, almost like you are sucking in. This is very powerful because both getting in and getting out, it creates resistance. And it creates so much of energy that the forehead starts shining. And that's why it's, that's why it's Ujjayi. It's a very energizing breath and can be used during the daytime, anytime. Now, how do you breathe? Shwas kevada undiyajo. Undo, dhiro, and acho. The only LSD that is legal is LSD breath. Even the LSD breath is controlled. What is LSD breath? Low volume, slow, and deep. Now, we understand the low volume. We will not practice that today. We understand the deep breath, but we want to practice the slow breath. So let's do this. Let's do the Om chanting and relax everybody. Full inhalation, slow exhalation, prolonged Om. Relax. When you count the number of breaths, if you're able to synchronize this with that Om chanting, you're doing really well because it's under 6 breaths per minute. Normal rate is 12. But when you synchronize yourself with the Om chanting, it's a practice that you can do when you want to relax. It's a wonderful practice to slow down the breath. Now, we'll not be doing the various other techniques. I just want to recognize that during 2025, what is the usual schedule? You can do many things. You wake up, we talked about, you can do Anulom Surya Nadi and Brahmari, you can do Kapalabhati. During the day, ocean breath and sequence ocean breath that we can talk about. Every fourth or every fifth breath can be ocean breath or deep breath or partial breath. And during the meals, we need to be mindful breath and breath sensing. We must taste the food. We focus on breath breathing so that you can taste the food well. There's no special techniques that you want to do during the meals. And focus on the belly, focus on the smell, the flavor, and enjoying. Create joy during meals with breath. 2 to 3 hours later, we can do the pranayama samadhi practices or agnisar kriya. That details we can go into later date. And kapalabhati as and when needed, and anulom vilom whenever we're going to balance. And at night time, it's chandra nadi, slow down breath, and 4, 7, 8 practices. So in summary, samatam yoga uchyate. Yoga is ultimate balance in life, harmony and synchronization, total vertical alignment. And yoga is a culmination point of balance in life. Continuous effort to maintain balance is there. Also interpreted as yoga anuyoga. That means yoga means a moment in time that defines if one is in yoga state. Yoga therefore is lived every moment of life. It's not something that we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something like that. We live yoga every single moment. That's how we celebrate our International Day of Yoga, understanding about it, and how to practice.